Whoa. Hello, give me 1 second to adjust this, guys. Hey, Periscopers, let me, whoops. Hey, Joanne, thanks for joining. This is Dr. George Kosmides, and welcome everyone for coming on my scope this evening. Hello, Joanne. My Gag One, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm probably going to catch heck for this scope on detoxes and some of the things that are out there, but I hope not. I hope it'll be a positive feeling from you folks, and hopefully I can answer some questions and clear up some confusion. My name is Dr. George Kosmides. For those of you that are new to my Periscope, thank you for joining me. For those that are returning, thank you for joining me. I'm a functional medicine doctor, and I practice chiropractic here in Redondo Beach. I also teach diabetes education to doctors for their what's called continuing education hours. I teach 12 hours a month. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. I nearly lost my, hey, Sam, thank you. I nearly lost my life at 19. And that's what got me into the chiropractic field. My uncle was an orthopedic surgeon, so I understand both sides of the tracks. And I lost my father at 56 and my two uncles at 55 and 31 from the side effects of diabetes. And I've studied everything that I could get my hands on, and I've written a couple of books, 4 of them to be exact. My latest one is on life without diabetes. So it is possible to make a huge impact and turn your life around regardless of your diagnosis. Hey, Stardust, thanks for joining me. Thanks for the hearts. Again, for those of you that are new, tapping the screen means that you appreciate the content of anyone that's on Periscope, and then sliding up the screen for Apple to share it with your others. Thank you for inviting your followers. And I believe it's sideways for Android to share it as well. I appreciate it. Again, I try to give solid content, research-based. My opinion does not matter. What I'll do is, hey, Pensacola, thanks for joining me. Are teas good for the liver case? Hold on, a good question. Let me go through my scope this evening, and let me pull up my topic first, because I know there's going to be some people that are going to be disappointed with me. But hopefully at the end of the scope you won't be. You'll kind of say, oh, that he's pretty reasonable. That sounds pretty reasonable. So we hear the term out there, detox this and cleanse that and detox this, and I think it can be pretty powerful and can be pretty overwhelming. So I want to run over some tips with detoxes, especially for weight loss, because that's my forte. I have a Dr. Kosmides Lean Body Academy, where that's what we focus on, is body fat reduction. And you just have to work within the science parameters that we've been given. Our bodies can do certain things and it can't do certain things. No matter how hard we work, no matter how hard we try, there are certain physiological constraints that we need to work inside of. And once we know that, we can really make some headway. For those of you that ask in the direct message, I am 52. I'll be 53 this year. I feel pretty good. I do have some physical issues from an old injury, but I'm working through them. Send me a kiss. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. Let me just pull up my my tweet here so I can get the title correctly. I know it was detox. I've got notes on the subject. So I hear a lot of this. Here we go. Detox pros and cons for weight loss. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of myths out there, and I'm going to break them down right now. And again, my opinion doesn't matter. The facts are what matters. So I looked at about 12 different so-called detox and so-called cleanse programs. And one of the things that I didn't find is no one really gave you what they're cleansing or what they're detoxing. What specifically are you trying to do? So that was one thing that I found kind of a miss. Here's a myth, and I'll read it from, these are national, that's right. There are no two ways about it. But the weight you lose depends on the way in which you limit your intake of calories. That's a super big myth. And this is a national organization. It's nonsense. The facts are that calories are defined by specifics. So there's calories in protein, there's calories in fat, and there's calories in carbohydrates. Now to further qualify that, carbohydrates are high load, low load. Are you eating them with fiber? Are you drinking the fruit juice? All these have qualifications. So to make a blanket statement like that, to me, it's kind of ridiculous. But again, that's nationally what's out there. These are major programs. So I responded, and if you want this PDF, wait after the vegan's okay. Wait at the end of my scope. I'm going to give you a way to get this. It's a 2-page PDF. It'll kind of go through the myths and facts and give you some resources to kind of check it out yourself. With anybody on Periscope, verify what they're telling you. Verify what I'm telling you. You can go to PubMed, which is PUMED.com, which has about 3.5 million medical peer-reviewed articles, and you can research, things, and you can get a reasonable idea if it's accurate or not. So again, I'll wait to the end of my scope and I'll give you this PDF. Just email me and I'll shoot you the PDF, no strings attached, a couple of pages. It'll just kind of give you some ideas of where to kind of look up next. Certainly. Yeah, research your scopers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, another myth. Under calorie restrictions, the body's glycogen stores can easily be depleted in 24 to 48 hours. You'll lose weight. No question, that's accurate. The problem is, guess where the weight is coming from? And this is a quiz for you guys, and I've got some really smart people following me on Periscope. I've got physicians, I've got fitness people, I've got lay people that are really sharp. Now, where do you think that weight comes from if they're limiting their calories from carbohydrates for 24 to 40 hours? Where do you think the weight is coming from? Take a guess. One word. Where is that weight coming from? Where do you think? Exactly correct. It's coming from water. Water will chase carbohydrates. So as they leave, water will follow them. Guess what is about 75% of your body? Your blood. Your blood is about 75% water. So when you lose all that weight, it's being pulled from your cardiovascular system. Muscle will take a little bit longer, maybe 72 to maybe 4 days to begin the breakdown. But yeah, it'll come from everywhere, mainly the bloodstream and also the brain. So it's not a good way to go. It's short term. Thank you for joining. It's a short term issue, but it's not functionally accurate. So I'll read the myths again, and I'll give you the facts. Under calorie restrictions, the body's glycogen stores can easily be depleted in 24 to 48 hours. You will lose weight. Here's the facts. Certainly you'll lose the weight from water and muscles, which is not desirable. Your body weight will, for a time, drop, but the weight will not come from fat, and it'll just come back more because your body will begin to hyperhydrate, hyperload, because it's afraid it's going to starve. So that's how the body works physiologically. It's just ridiculous. And again, these are national kind of programs that are out there. We'll talk about insulin sensitivity in a minute. Let me give you another myth. Doing a 1 or 2 cleanse will clean me out. We've all heard it, right? I'm just going to go do this cleanse. I've had people go to the major centers, very good centers, and spend several thousand dollars on cleanses, and they come back a little bit better, but fall back into the same routine. Hold on, I'm not trying to avoid you, but I want to get through this. So let me get through my information here, and then I'll answer your questions gladly. So doing a 1 or 2 cleanse will clean me out. Here's the facts. The body doesn't work that way. I'm reading my own writing, by the way. I'm not copying someone else's. The body doesn't work that way. Certain foods like bok choy contain glucoisolates, which have been shown to contribute to thyroid problems. You can also bring out elements that can be overwhelming to the body. Beets can cause dilation of the renal system. So if you're in physiological trouble already, does it really, do you really want to go to that extreme measure? So that's why you want to make sure that you're not, jumping the gun, so to speak. There's so many, hey Amy, there's so many other things that you could do than just to jump on a cleanse. Okay? Hold on. Don't be mad at me yet. Don't be mad at me yet. Okay? Juicing, if you use, yeah, if you juice and you take away all the vegetables, you're losing all the fiber. So the fiber is what slowly releases sugars and minerals and waters into the body. So I'm not against juicing. I'm just telling you how it works physiologically. Remember, I don't make the rules. Guys, if I made the rules, espresso and lemon meringue pie would be on the top of my chart, okay? But it's not. So the body doesn't work that way, okay? Many cleansing diets are also low in protein. Now, for those of you that are on my program, lean body mass support is the key to any fitness routine. I don't care if you're a figure model. I don't care if you're obese and you're trying to lose weight. You have to support your lean body mass. And these cleanses, depending on how you do them, I never did get to 9%. I'm still hovering at 13. It will deplete you. And when you don't support your lean body mass, Here's another question for you guys. You're so sharp. Guess what happens to your muscle mass if you don't support it? Guess what happens to it? One word. Or two words, depending on how you want to express it. The muscle mass will what? Well, it won't shrink. It'll be worse than that. Hold on, answer the question. It will actually break down and catabolize. There's my brilliant scholar, Amy, on my program. It'll just break down, and it's called catabolism. We've all heard of anabolism, which is build up. Catabolism is the opposite. It will actually break down and go away. So the person may get lighter, but their body fat may elevate. That's why you have to support your lean body mass. And if you're working with someone and they have no concept of what that is, I guarantee you, with your program, and I say this a lot, people make fun of me, but you're on a one-way trip to Palookaville. You'll never get the results that you want, and it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not doing things right. You're doing things right within the sphere, but you're not supporting your lean body mass, okay? Okay, high levels of fruit juice. You see here a lot of these fruit cleanses. They can cause major swings in blood sugar. I wrote the book on resolving type 2 diabetes and supporting type 1s. Pre-diabetes, type 1, type 1.5s, and type 2s. The last thing you want to put in your body is dry fruit and fruit juices. Palookaville, you don't even want to go there. You don't even want to know where it is. It's so bad. It's opposite of Shangri-La. Let's put it that way. So some of the results you can get from fasting. Feeling weak, feeling fatigued, feeling tired, slamming types of headaches, inability to sleep, feeling sick to your stomach. So if you're in really bad shape when you do a fast, I've seen people actually have mini strokes. I've seen them collapse. And early in my career, I was all into the let's do a detox. And I've had people come to my office in bed sheets because they physically couldn't get dressed. And there's a cab waiting in the parking lot. So I've made the mistakes. And you have to go specifically to the person's body. My program, the first 2 weeks, I teach you these things, how to eat for your lean body mass, what to avoid, what to stay away from inside your family. So now you don't have to be segregated. So it's about 2.5 pages, and I will gladly PDF you this, and I will give you my email address to sign up for the reports, and I'll shoot this out to you. You'll have it tomorrow. Okay. Now, right now it's 50% off. I think it's about 70 cents a day. Increase the lean tissue. That's right. And you increase it by supporting it, the lean muscle mass. How do you find your program? Go to leanbodyacademy.com. It's actually in my profile. For those of you, great. Get on my list. It says get your free report, and I'll get it to you. I'll get you some other cool stuff, but I'll get you this one right away. So again, I'm not against detox programs. Let's be clear. I'm for, actually you get 50% off the $67 a month price. So that's half of that. So what is that? 32 something. But you get coaching calls from me every month, so you'll get 4 coaching. I mean, it's a lot of material in there. Go and check out the program. It's a lot of stuff. And there's several people on the program, on this scope, that are on my program now. And I want to show you how impressive their knowledge has become. So I've talked about supporting your lean body mass. That's the muscle that you have in your body. For those of you that are on the program, what's the gram number of protein you need to eat per day for your lean body mass? What's the grams per day? Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. 70. See these numbers? 97. You see these numbers? These people know exactly the grams per day they need to eat. Half your body weight is irrelevant. Because how much of that body weight is fat? Fat is what's called metabolically inactive tissue. It just kind of lays there. How young is it healthy to start your program? How young? Geez, my daughter eats her lean body mass and protein, and she's 5. She likes whey, and she gets probably about 12, 15 grams a day just in her whey shakes. So if it's done reasonably, what is your website again? It's Lean Body Academy. Awesome info ingredients from current. Hey, thanks. Hey, New Jersey. So again, it's about being reasonable, and it's about being reasonable in a family circumstance. Thank you so much for posting to leanbodyacademy.com. And on the profile, you can also just give your name, not your last name. I don't need to know all that. Just your name and your email, and I'll make sure you get the Detoxes Are Fooling You PDF. So I'm all for them, and you can kind of, in the program, what I've taken, and we've all heard of intermittent fasting, that's embedded in the program, but you never have to, oh great, You never have to fast as far as limiting your foods. There's just certain sugars you want to avoid. I have I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I've been in practice for over 20 years right here in Redondo Beach, California. And then I have my online programs and my consulting, and I teach one Saturday a month. It's a long day. No, I'm really not buff, but thank you, though. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. That's so kind of you to say. You know, my goal, my emphasis is to make it as easy as possible. I've done all the work. I've made all the mistakes, guys. All the mistakes. Lost my father at 56. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's being reasonable, and more importantly, it's about being consistent. What can you do consistently? I may not give you the most extreme things to do but what can you do consistently day in, day out? We've all had friends, and we've all done it. I did it in the past. You know, spinach diets and extreme things. They last for 2-3 days, and it just doesn't work. So now, you guys gave me some questions early in the scope. Fire them at me again. If they're more than 1 or 2 lines, copy and paste them. So if I don't get to them, you can repost them. I'm not ignoring you, but you have to understand these things just come, 6, 7 at a time. How soon your results in the program? Depending on what you want to see within 2 or 3 days. Follow the principles. The first videos that you get in week 1, and that's what I say, right now you have access to all 12 weeks that's intense. Take 1 week at a time, and then the coaching calls are all in there. I think there's over 20, 25 coaching calls and new materials added all the time. But just take 1 week at a time. The new platform that I have will tell you how much you've finished. You finished 1 of 3 or something. I'm super skinny. How do I get bigger? Support your lean body mass that you have. See, the things that I'm teaching you are fundamental to everything, whether you're a fitness model and you want to get down to 8%, or you're obese and you want to lose 100 pounds of body fat. The principles remain the same. If anyone's telling you physiologically they're different, they're not being accurate. I'll debate that with them to no end. How do you lose weight? No, it's how you lose fat. Weight is a total arbitrary number. If you had 10-pound bag of marbles in your pocket, you could drop that and you can lose the weight, but it's not going to get the fat off of you. You have to do that cerebrally. Just like most things in life. You can work hard. What is it saying? You can work hard or you can work smart. Well, I've made all the mistakes, and I literally mean that, both in training, physically, and in your take on juicing. Juicing, you mean anabolic steroids? If that's something you want to do, and I've worked with people who do that, go through a physician who prescribes drugs that knows that realm of medicine. That's with anything. Juicing like fruits and vegetables, because I work with so many different people that agree, green juicing is fantastic. Probably once a week, me and my wife will drink 2 to 3 quarts. And we'll spend a morning and go somewhere from maybe 9 or 10 to 2 or 3, and that's all we'll consume. And that's just based on how I feel. I've gotten really wheatgrass whole. I love it, but boy, it rocks my world. I haven't had some in a while, though. Hey, thanks, Ron's Daily Talks, for sharing. How do you lose fat? That's it. You have to support your lean muscle mass. So, thank you so much. So, it seems very mysterious, but I've got people in here that are housewives and just your everyday lovely people that are doing it. I think, Amy, if you're still here, are you down more than 60 pounds yet? What can I do to get my energy back? Support your lean muscle mass. That's the number one thing that you can do. Hey, kiddo, you want to say hi to the guys? No, my daughter just came in. No, but lean muscle mass is key. You've got to do it. And there's easy ways to do it. And I teach you inside the program. I teach you a couple calculations that'll make it super, super easy. How do you feel about detox with vinegar? Come on, come say hi. Come on. It all has its place, but don't hang your hat on any one thing. How can I be 50 and have a body of a 20-year-old? Well, I'm 50 and I think I feel about like I'm in my 30s. That's my daughter, Sophia. She wants to show you her. You lose another tooth or just one? Oh, just one. Okay. Thank you so much. And again, it's just an assessment. How do I know much? That's the calculation that I teach you inside the program. It's real simple. I drink milkshake every morning with strawberries and banana and protein. Are these going to help me? What kind of protein do you use? Some are better than others. So the one that I recommend has the highest what's called biological value. It's organic sugar, yeah, but it's still a simple sugar, so it's going to hit your bloodstream really fast. Hey, can you go out with mommy and play with that tape measure? So, can you go out with mommy and play with the tape measure? Or you can come in and sit on daddy's lap and talk with me. Pea protein. Unfortunately, vegan proteins, and again, don't believe me. Go online and type in biological value proteins, and you'll get a list, a chart, and it's actually in my program. Unfortunately, the biological value of vegan proteins is somewhere in the 60 percentile range. Sorry, Doc, you always know the organ sugar. Yeah, I do. And I've got sugar in my kitchen, but I don't have any white sugar. I have either date, coconut, or maple syrup. What does NPI stand for? That's a code that doctors are given in the nation. We all have one, if that's what you're talking about. Egg is about 94%. I don't do well on egg protein, but isolated whey is about 97%. Dr. K, I didn't get your take vinegar detoxing. But does that mean you drink vinegar all day? It's not qualified enough for me to make a statement, make a comment. Did you say that your program is half off? It is. If you look at the sign up page, you'll see April. If you type in April in the code box, you'll get half off. I have to send you please do send me your numbers. Are you doing better? I know you had when you first got in the program, you were in the hospital. I hope, Sam, you're doing better. Thank you. I didn't get the last statement. You are, and then it kind of faded on me. Pardon me. Thanks, Get Self. I'm not following you, but I like thanks. That's nice. What are you drinking? This is that Pro-Arginine 9+. It's actually on the site. It's one. I think I endorse about 5 products. This is one of them. Doing better. No. Oh, great. Dropping some body fat. Yeah, I want to see your numbers. Sweet. Wish this had a transcript. You can go to catch.me, and all my videos are recorded, and that's also in the program. You have access to all of those as well. What kind of exercise should I do to tone and stay healthy? Support. I know you guys are going to get sick of me. Support your lean body mass. It's beyond any. I don't even talk about exercise for the first 4 weeks. And people that are on my program, you're going to drop percentages of body fat within the first month without even touching exercise. Oh, Get Self as a listener. Oh, okay, thank you. I think you tweeted me earlier. Thank you so much. I just remember the bright smile. Master Cleanse is amazing. I looked at so many. What are we cleansing? What are we trying to accomplish? And this is another thing. When you start the program, there's a place inside the members area where you can make notations in your own members area. Write down what your goal is. What are you trying to accomplish? And then you work backwards. Lost a pound a day, haven't gained it back. But how much of it was fat? Do you follow me? Because fat is only about 4% water. Muscle is about 75%. So when you lose that kind of weight quickly, guess where it's all coming from? Baxter Bowel Science. I did here in Van Nuys, California, I did a wellness coaching with that company. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. But I'm not fat or overweight. Okay, here's the question. What's your body fat percentage? What do you do when you are hitting a plateau? You figure out what your lean body mass is and figure out, number one, are you supporting your lean body mass? If you have a super active metabolism, maybe you only maybe 0.7 grams per pound of lean body mass. Yeah, you got to find that out. And you don't have to I don't have the gadget here, but it's a little handheld gizmo that gives you your lean body mass. Call up a local gym and ask them if they do body fat testing. It's not about, don't think, vanity, I want to look good. It'll happen. But from a disease standpoint, especially you ladies, you guys over 30%, your risk for ovarian and breast cancer goes through the roof. Don't believe me, go online and Google it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I think it's at 25 times normal when you're above 30%. When you're above 40%, it's like 50 times normal for ovarian and breast cancer. It's the disease issue that I'm focusing on. I want to lose 49 pounds. I have high blood pressure. I have started taking water pills. Okay, but I told you, get in the program. There's a 50% off cube. I can't make it more. Hundreds of hours that went into it. I do live coaching calls every Monday. I'm starting at 9 o'clock because my daughter started school, and they're all recorded into the members area, so you'll never miss anything. Which bio machine is better? Well, I think it's called the Oron one. It's about $40. I'm hitting you. I don't see that. I'm viewing your website. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Not a fan of bioimpedes, those hand sensors. The best way to check your body fat is going to a hydrostatic tank, but that's a pain in the butt, and you have to drive places to go. All you need to do is get within 2 or 3%. You don't have to be super accurate. That's a kind of a misnomer. Once you have that number, everything flows from that number. Yeah, handheld, they've got the scales, you know, some of them are like $1,200, $1,400. The ones I'm recommending are like $35, $40. California is here. The program is amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, people that are on my program now, we just changed platforms not too long ago, and my goal is to make it super, super, super easy. Yeah, Omron handheld, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. Again, it's more accurate than calipers. It'll get you within between 2 and 4%. Calipers will get you within maybe 4 to 8%, depending on, you know, the technician that's doing it. And there's Amy, she's another star. Kit, there's another star. I mean, stars in my program. What I mean by stars is they're seeing major gains without a lot of super effort, and they have, you know, they have a family life. I crave sweets a lot. How can I curb my cravings? See if you got a candida infection. Most sugar cravings, especially for women, there's a yeast problem going on. Usually every time that you have your cycle, you'll see either a little bit of a discharge, or your neck will itch, your ears will itch, your throat will itch, because you have it, you know, from your female area, it's usually systemic. How much of a weight loss is mental? Emotions play a huge role. I have audios for emotional. In fact, I just did one on eating for emotions versus eating for health. So it plays a big role. This is the first time I have heard of you, and I would like to know more about your program. Yeah, it's the Lean Body Academy. I've got introductory videos. It's getting us. It's as packed as I can get it with information that won't overwhelm people. How can we stop at the cravings? Yeah, you have to, you know, just an arbitrary, you know, I'm just guessing off the top of my head. Number one, don't have it in the house. Number two, you know, maybe a good pre and probiotic to help the digestive tract become healthier. I am on this program of loss. You're at 79 pounds, Amy. Holy cow. Are you registering yet on your meter? Because I remember last time that you shouted out, you were at like 60. So that's another 20. Throw up some new pictures, Amy. I want to see. So Amy, for all of you guys, she's one of the largest people, or was one of the largest people on my program, about 350 pounds. Now she says she's lost close to, 79. So now she's in the 270 range. Our goal is to get her to 160. It's going to happen. But guess what? It's fat loss that we're focusing on, not weight loss. Yeah, there's so many detox systems, but, you know, in the way that the Lean Body program is structured, you are detoxing, but it's so passive detoxing. You know, when you drink water, it's a form of detox. When you eat fresh fruit, it's a form of detox. We can't think about, I'll give you a brief example. My business coach called me up, real great guy. I want to do a 6-hour detox. I said, Stephen, why don't you try he said, I want to do a 6-day detox. I said, why don't you try a 6-hour detox? He couldn't even make it 6 hours. The 5th hour, he just called me on the phone and said, I can't make it. I have to go eat. I laughed. I thought it was funny. We moved on. So it's not that it's right or wrong. It's what can you do? They talk about 12-hour fasting and 16-hour fasting. The average person can't do that, nor should they. Amy's not going to do that, and I'm not going to ask her to. What can she do consistently? 5-6 months down the line, what can she do? People on the program have emotional challenge. We help you work through those. So you have to take the emotional component, and I'll do a whole scope on repatternizing your brain for emotions. It's crucial because a lot of you guys that have body fats above 30, 35, 40%, you've had some emotional things that are spurring you down that pathway. It could have happened years ago. I've hit a plateau, no weight, fat loss, haven't changed anything. What happened? You're not, number one, you're not in the Lean Body program. Number two, you don't know your lean body mass, nor your percentage of protein intake. Those are crucially fundamental. They're one of the top 10 pillars of the program. My son is 14 and he consistently has headaches. I already took him to the doctor, and definitely take him to the doctor of chiropractic because we're going to look at x-rays and things differently. I just saw a 17-year-old soccer player with chronic back pain. Detox is a fundamental of that. It can be. Give him pain pills. You want to get to the source of the problem. How much protein depends on your lean body mass. You see, I'm not, and please, I'm not trying to misdirect you or not answer you, but that number is crucial. And for those of you that are on my Lean Body, that are in the Lean Body Academy, am I being correct? Just put up a 1 if I'm being accurate. Because I think some of them just want to hit me. Why do you keep saying that? Because it's so crucial. It's crucially important. Crucially important. For disease process, for your blood sugar, for your lab works to improve, it's crucial. 50% water, okay, 30% muscle, okay. Yeah, I don't know how you're measuring the water mass. So you're above 30%. You're above 30% in 30% in body fat. If I think I read that correctly. Yeah, it's real simple. You don't need all that BMI and these other. You just need a couple of numbers, and it's a real simple formula. Should I increase protein intake? Well, you have to figure out where you're at now. And most people, from my experience, their protein intake is a third of what it should be. And I'm talking about good quality, like an isolated whey, an egg, a good quality protein. When you focus on, if you're a vegan, which is fine, I work with vegans all the time, you have to increase your protein by about 25%. Because it doesn't get absorbed as efficiently as, say, an isolated whey. That's unfortunate. Pound per body weight terms to be good. Oh, 23. 23 is a good number. I mean, I don't like to see women any higher than 25. Best way you're a vegan to get protein. Tofu is good. I don't recommend any soy products unless they're fermented. I've read too much research that kind of doesn't bode well with me. And you need to drink probably a pea protein if you want to stay pure vegan, but I would definitely consider isolated whey. You would find it out my lean body mass protein. Oh yeah, the program you find that out. You find out in the first week. Well, actually, the first video that you watch, I covered that with you. I'm 52, and I'm going to get down. My goal is to get down to 9% within the next 3 to 5 months. What kind can you have? Depends on what kind you tolerate. Pea protein appears to be pretty good, but yeah, it's a good goal. Just understand every percentage for women, for every percentage you guys get below 25 becomes tougher. You have to get more cerebral. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, again, it's not me. If I was an Albert Schweitzer or Mahatma Gandhi or someone of prominence, my opinion matters. But I read the research and I do it all the time, and it's not favorable. 9% is so hard to make. Well, I haven't gotten there yet. I've gotten 5% in my life once, and I was there for maybe 4 days. But that's when I was getting into ketosis and doing extreme things. I'd say between 12 and 15. Thank you. And again, it's just something I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. And then I get that, I practice on myself, then I relay that to the program for the average person to do it. It's all about moderation. No question. 9% is my comfort limit. That's a good number. There's been some hard studies that the leaner people are, the less disease process we have, the easier it is to balance our blood sugar and our lab work. So what's really cool is if you come in the program, and I'm not going to offer it for too much longer because there's a lot of people going in. I'll actually do a lab review with you, and I'll get on the phone with you, and you send me your lab. We'll spend 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I'll go over your labs and give you my opinion on what you can do. I've had people with blood sugar over 817 was my highest. Normal's between 80 and 120, and I've had cholesterol in the 600s, and the ratio is totally reversed. We've gotten them figured out. 6% is the lowest I have been for a body. Yeah, it's hard to maintain that. And I don't recommend, especially, I don't know if you're a woman or not, I don't recommend, I thought I saw David. Yeah, it's hard to maintain that, and you shouldn't. The body needs fat for a number of things, hormone production, cholesterol formation, all that kind of stuff. Very difficult. But there's a lot better tools now than there was 10 years ago. How do you get rid of a big stomach? Go to the Lean Body Academy. For what you're going to learn there, no one's teaching it. No one is teaching one, and I've looked at 6 or 7 programs out there. How much body fat can a woman drop in 2 months currently weighing, training every other day? It matters if you eat lean body mass protein. Lucretia, in I think 2 months, she dropped about 4.5%. I dropped 5% in 12 weeks. So it just depends on your consistency. And I bring that out in the program all the time. Coaching calls will give you specifics, and we'll check your consistency. It's essential for, if women get below like 11%, you actually lose your menstrual cycle in most cases. So a lot of these Olympic runners and triathletes, their cycles are kind of fouled up. So with all professional athletes or people that are going that arena, I recommend, take off 3 months and let your body fat go up to 16, 17%. Give your body a chance to kind of reacclimate. Yeah, I like 19. 19 for walking around. If America could be an average of 19% body fat, that would be phenomenal. What's the website? It's a Lean Body Academy. Maybe some kind person out there can throw it up. Lean Body Academy, allword.com, and you'll see the first thing you'll see is a green image with it's not me, but someone helping someone up, and that's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to help you guys up. I'm in the trenches with you. Anything new that I can find to make it easier, that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to sell you a whole bunch of products. I'm here, what you're paying for is, knowledge that you can apply. Oh, I didn't know that. So hopefully every scope I give you, you guys have a wow moment. Like, wow, I didn't know that. It's a percentage of body fat in America. It's pretty bad. The last research I wrote was 2012. 71% of Americans over the age of 30 are obese. 71%. I don't look my age. I looked at my latest picture and don't like had back surgery. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But there's always something you can do. I was scheduled for back surgery at 19. I've been there. I have no idea what my body fat was, but definitely had more muscle tone. Yeah, find out. You got to find that number out. Hi. You have to find out. See, once you have the data, then you can move forward. Do you know what the average body fat percent? Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the average body fat is, but they're saying the numbers that I recall is 71% of Americans over the age of 30 are obese. And they categorize obese at 30% or more. Hi. It's pretty sad. Samoa is the worst. I think Samoa is close to like 82%. How much per month approximately for a lean body program? The first month it's like $1 a day. After that it's $67 a month. But just a couple 3 months and you can quit any time. When I sign up, will my wife have to sign up separately? Yeah, but she can access your program. I let couples do that. My new platform is, and I want to talk to Amy about this. She's one of the admins. We'll give you automatically, you'll be in the Facebook group and you'll automatically get access to the program. And as long as your wife knows your password, all I ask is all the materials downloadable. Keep it within your program. Keep it within the people who pay for the program. Because I can promise you one thing. If you give the material to someone and they don't work for it or ask for it or pay for it, guess how much value they'll give it? 0. That's the same with people buying my book. I'm so privileged that a lot of people on Periscope, hundreds of people have bought my diabetes book as gifts. I only hope that they utilize it. How about we just start Atkins? Dr. Atkins was a pioneer. In my opinion, have your husband follow through with it. And my program works on Atkins principles, but I'm doing things that he was the trailblazer for. Okay? Dr. Atkins, for those of you who don't know what the Atkins plan was, to get your body into something called ketosis, which is when you burn fat, the byproduct of fat metabolism is a ketone body. And think of it as running your car and the exhaust that comes out of the tailpipe is a ketone. And so it's the product of fat metabolism, or it's a product of renal failure. So you have to be real careful. So my program dips into that, but not in the extremes that Atkins did. And he had a lot of saturated fat, a lot of butter, a lot of sour cream, pork rinds. I think we can get much smarter than that, more cerebral. But again, Dr. Atkins was a pioneer, so I have nothing but respect for the man. Don't believe ketosis is a long-term. It's not. It's very stressful for the renal system. Some athletes that I work with that I help them with ketogenic total fat metabolism diet. Before I even work with them, they have to show me their lab work within the last 2 months. I won't even bother. Thoughts on potatoes. As a general rule, I lean on the Ayurvedic principle. If it doesn't have color, avoid it. So white potatoes, avoid. Usually feeling shaky and weak, so I'm a little worried. Put him on some coconut oil. It has something in there called an MCT. Will actually give him fuel. If one eats too much protein, is it bad for your kidneys? It's difficult to. And that used to be a myth, but the latest research I read contradicts that statement. So again, let's qualify that. It matters on the quality of the protein and where the person's lean body mass is. Yeah, it can make you acidic, no question. So my program skirts on it, but it's not the focus. 3 hours before bed is what I focus on. I have 30% body fat and started a vegan diet. Okay, if you're going to be a vegan, for all you want to be vegans out there, write this down. Get a pencil really quick. And when you're ready, say 111, and I'll say the name in the book that you have to get if you're even considering being a vegan. You got to get this book. Cauliflower, it's white. Yeah, cauliflower. Yeah, I would go with broccoli instead. Yeah, well, that's what's happening is, okay, I'll give you the book. What's happening is when you're going from glucose metabolism to fat metabolism, your body has to physiologically transfer over to a different pathway. The Krebs cycle is sugar burning, and then back to Eden, that's correct. And the author's name, if you have it, is going from a glucose burning process to a fat burning process. And that pathway it's difficult. That's why when I did it with athletes, they would go in and out of that. Where Atkins was, you stay in as long as you lose the weight. There's just more effective ways to do it. The Chemistry of Man, I recommended that book for Amy. It's another great book. thoughts on caveman diet. I think my diet touches on paleo, caveman, eat for your blood type. I've tried to make universal principles so you're not stuck in any one format. You have the knowledge to make choices. So when you go on when my people go on vacation, guess what, guys? They come back leaner and lighter. They don't come back heavier. Why? Because they know what choices to make when they go to a cruise or go on vacation. That's the real key. If you can't formulate your lifestyle when you're on vacation, well, it's pointless. How can I make gains but lose my belly fat? Lean Body Academy. I haven't had anyone not enjoy it. Is it better to eat one macro at a time then? I don't get into that. It's better to eat the foods that you're comfortable with. If you get gas or bloated, your body's not tolerating them well. No, ask some people that are on my program. My program is not all protein and all. There's 3 months of meal plans, menus, meatloaf, pork. All kind of what I would call satiation foods. Eat for your blood type. Point of view, please. Much like Ayurveda, it has its place, but it segregates out too many people. Yeah, the book name is Back to Eden, and the author's name is Jethro Kloss, Kloss. Probably the best book I read on veganism, and it's a paperback. It's been out for at least a decade and a half. I'm going to have him for years since you've been in time. I'll help him any way that I can. Live coaching calls every Monday we have, and they're all recorded. So if you miss them, oh, great, you ordered the book. Yeah, it's a good book. Class of food, carb, fat, protein. I'm not following the question. What are your thoughts on probiotics? Excellent. And they have a prebiotic and a probiotic. Super important. The gut. I took one of the very first seminars with Dr. Jeffrey Bland back in the mid-90s on leaky gut syndrome. So I'm a full believer that that's a problem in most people, especially if their immune system is compromised, because over 70% of the immune system lives in the GI tract. So you show me someone who has gastrointestinal problems, I'll show you someone who has immune problems. It's how the body works. This is from macros. If we're talking macrobiotic diet, it's designed. What makes sense to me, what I've read is it's a combination of foods that help maximize the value. Do you do routine podcasts like this? I try to come on. I'm in the office 12-hour days, Tuesday and Fridays. So I try to come on between 7 and 8 the rest of the days. What are your thoughts on eating a lot of bread? I think it's a mistake, especially if it's not sprouted. So I don't have white flour in my house. My daughter doesn't get it. It's just not worth it. If you look up white flour, in order to make flour white, it's bleached with a chemical called alloxan. It's bleached, and the byproduct of that bleaching is called alloxan. Look it up online. Wikipedia did a very good definition of alloxan. Alloxan. Yeah, no white rice either. Highly acidic. Thoughts on high carb, low fat? I think it's a mistake. And again, you have to qualify your carbohydrates. Repost that. He also feels, repost that. Yeah, white flour is not good. Detox water. I've never heard of that. If you want to squeeze a little bit of lemon in your water, I guess that's detox. Alkaline water. I have Mountain Valley in my house. It comes out of a pH supposedly at 9.1. That's fine for me. He also feels like he may have fibromyalgia. Okay, so whenever we have fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, I would put in that classification. Leaky gut syndrome, anything like that, digestive tract is. And if this is the lady whose husband's doing Atkins, if he's got digestive problems already, they're going to multiply. And I'm not happy about that. I don't say that with glee, but that's what's going to happen because the way that the traditional Atkins is structured, there's very low in fiber because you're trying to do what? You're trying to just cut out the carbohydrates. So I wish him well. If he comes to the program, I can almost guarantee he'll be able to do it and get major results without going through all this heartache. He is the one on, yeah, okay. Yeah, if he's got digestive problems already, it's just going to get worse, unfortunately. Yes, it's lemon or grapefruit cucumbers. Yeah, they'll alkaline the water automatically. So simple things. Again, I don't wish him any harm. Please don't take me wrong, but I'm just trying to forewarn you because it's really hard on the digestive tract. I remember I did it. I got down to 5% on the Atkins base, but I cycled in and out of it, and I've done did some other things, but tough. Thank you for the catch.me. Thank you. Lady said they only drank that to lost weight. Is there a way to decrease gut yeast? Yeah. Follow the recommendation in Lean Body Academy because it takes you through the steps. And interestingly enough, when you have like an isolated whey protein, it actually supports It actually supports good gut flora, good gut health. How long should you detox? Oh boy, you must have came late. You must have came late. I'm sorry, what's the link of the program? It's leanbodyacademy.com. Pidor, I think that's what? Is that Spanish for doctor? Yes, I told him all about you and your home tonight. So oh great. I wish you the best. Please, again, please, I never want to talk negative. No one's ever wrong. We're all looking for answers. I've just been at this for over 25 years. So, prior to being licensed and now in practice, and this is what moves me. When you lose your loved one, I lost my father at 56 when I was, just getting into practice, and I know now it could have been prevented. You become, you first become angry, then you do something about it. Casein protein is good. Yeah, it's low quality, unfortunately. So casein protein, everyone, that's the protein that's in dairy products. Whey is from dairy, but it's different. It's technically different. The first month, it's like $33 or something. Then it's $67 after that. How can I start of jogging? I wouldn't even jog. I don't recommend running at all. How's my program different? It talks about supporting your lean body mass and walks you through the steps of what's important to least important. And exercise isn't even discussed the first 4 weeks. Not even discussed. People who have digestive issues, immune issues, and thyroid removed will help them. Absolutely. Because your body will still make T3 and T4. It'll just make it in the brain. Just because this organ is removed doesn't mean the hormone goes away. Your brain will make it. The body's amazingly resilient, but it's also amazingly sensitive to when we go off track. What exercises do you recommend? If you have a swimming pool, start walking in the pool if you're really heavy. I have people doing chair exercises. Exercise is a form. Okay, for those of you that are new, let me recap. I'm Dr. George Kosmides. I'm a doctor of chiropractic for about 20 years. I've been practicing functional medicine since the mid-90s. I've written 4 books. Hi, Donna. The latest one is Life Without Diabetes, and I have an online body fat loss program called the Lean Body Academy. And that's what I do. This is my passion. That's right. Exercise is a form of trauma. So if you're already in trouble, why would you want to traumatize yourself until you get all your support parameters? Controlled trauma. See, that's my tribe. Opinion on HCG diet for women. So you're talking about human chorionic gonadotropin. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know about a human chorionic gonadotropin diet. I've never heard of that. Yeah. So when you see what bodybuilders and they're training hard, they're also eating massive amounts of protein and sleeping 10, 12, 14 hours a day. So the body is rebuilding and replacing that trauma. But if you're already traumatizing and you're not supporting it, you're just going to go farther down the tubes and end up in Palookaville. When does what end? The program never ends. Amy has been on it. The 12 weeks, the way it's structured is the fast track to get you rolling. And then we do weekly coaching calls. I'm adding new material all the time. The program just keeps kind of growing. Yeah, too much releases cortisol and no question. What's the best way to lower blood pressure? Support your lean body mass and find out what that is. And then, if you smoke, drink alcohol excessively, all that's going to add to it. I'm still on the program since September 14th. That's right. Amy's lost almost, 80 pounds with no exercise, folks. And in some cases, especially people that are really heavy or having cardiovascular problems, it's the worst thing to do because you're traumatizing your cardiovascular system. I know it sounds good. Let's go exercise. It's going to be great. It's not. It can't be your first modus operandi. Hi, Joanne. You guys follow Joanne. She's a phenomenal person, just like my sister. And again, I'm not against it. I've been training since I was 19 years old, but I do it differently now. I do it smarter. And you have to train in your kitchen first. Understand basics. You understand the basics, everything will flow. BP, avoid drink, smoke. No, medications and things. I'm not here to take you off any medications. I'm here to do 3 things. For you to communicate better with your primary, for you to take more responsibility and don't blame your doctor for your health problems, and be consistent with positive things that work physiologically. And I lay them out in real simple terms. Again, my average person in my program is about 80% are women between 40 and 60. Housewives, retirees. You have to speak who's listening. You must cringe at the Biggest Loser. No, actually, I watched interview, or did I read it? I read an interview that they interviewed like 6 of the people 2 years later, and they all gained back the weight. The program is Lean Body Academy. And the main complaint, I think I'm just going off of memory, they said they didn't learn anything. Everything was done for them. So they never got any knowledge. So when they left the program, they went back to their old habits. Why isolate causes Alzheimer's? I disagree. What they're finding out now is Alzheimer's is they're actually doing some studies, and you can look this up on PubMed. They're actually giving coconut oil and they're reversing symptoms, and they're saying it's a remyelination issue. They're actually remyelinating the nerves. That's what causes the rigidity and the lack of memory. Fascinating research is happening right now with fats. Cholesterol excess and diabetes increases blood pressure too. Yeah, no question. Yes, and losing weight that fast is not. No, it's not fast. You have to qualify the weight. Hey, Donna, you have to qualify the weight of fat. How much fat have you lost? Not weight. If you don't drink water and wear a plastic suit, some people can drop 15 pounds in a day. It's the worst way to do it. Well, it's not no exercise. It shouldn't be the primary focus is all I'm saying. It's kind of like when you open a business, is your primary focus to tint the windows in your office? No, the primary focus is to get your business in order inside and then go from the outside. You guys like my analogies? I try to make them make sense. Is it normal to shiver after eating? No, it's not normal. Something's going on. Usually there's a blood sugar disharmony. That's not normal. I don't know what it is, but it's just not normal. If you get on the program, you email me your lab work and we'll do a Skype and I'll give you my opinion. Again, I'm not trying to take the place of your primary. I'll just give you some reasonable opinions. My father-in-law has congestive heart failure. That's what my father died of, and they say he can't have coconut oil. I'm not here to disagree with it. I disagree with it having a negative effect. Just read the research. Go to PubMed and type in coconut oil and cardiovascular effects. You'll see pros and you'll see cons. I happen to side with the pros. That's right. If you don't be consistent and do good things, you'll go on a one-way trip to Palookaville. Actually, from an old Marlon Brando movie. And interesting enough, Joanne's old house, Marlon Brando owned that house. I still remember that. I'm diabetic and addicted to sugar. Well, if you're addicted to sugar, that's your choice to be addicted to sugar. So see, when you say that, this goes back to the emotion. You're reinforcing that you're addicted to sugar. When I say, oh, I'm always going to be fat, well, guess what? You're always going to be fat. Do you see? So we have to watch the words that we use. An old dear friend of mine said to me something. He said, our words are our world. So I get into the whole I get into the whole emotional aspect. We've had people cry on the program and go through past regressions and all that stuff. If you're a doctor and you're not dealing with it, you're missing the boat, because emotions is a key reason why there's chronic illness on this planet. Self-loathing, all these negative things, and you have to address them. And once you address them, the person recognizes them and becomes mindful, then they can move past them. Food tastes better once you eat real food. There's no question about it. 3 is actually a cancer diabetes. I'm not following you. Well, I know there's 1, 2, and now there's 1.5, which is mixed between it's so confusing, but the same principles. It's PubMed, P-U-B-M-D, PubMed, P-U-M-E-D. And just type it in, and there'll be a bar saying search, and you can type in what you're searching for. And I think if you don't pay, you'll get the summaries of the research. You won't get the whole research paper. Trust me, some of that stuff is just so doggone dry, you wouldn't believe it. But at least it kind of confirms kind of some things that you're doing, and that's where, that's the first place I go. Craving for junk equals malnutrition. Usually there's a yeast problem. And you get, interesting, and this is really interesting. People with massive yeast problems usually have bronchial problems. You guys want to know why? This is a fascinating tip. I learned this years ago. Because what you're dealing with is all the waste from the yeast. Remember, they're going doo-doo and she in your body, and your lungs have to deal with that. So usually people with chronic candida also have asthma issues. Yeah, PubMed, that's it. Type 1 autoimmune, type 2 resistance. Yeah, but what they're saying now is type 2 is not what we thought. It's not fully an autoimmune issue. There's some research that contradicts that topic. So the main premise I go through is, I wrote my book and I teach the doctors here, but I don't teach them to treat diabetes. I don't even get into that. It's a failed mechanism. It's going up at the rate of about 8% per year in this country alone. What I get into is supporting the person that has it. That's the big difference. Yeah, find out what's happening. There's something going on in your gut that makes you crave it. And there's another good book for you yeast people, Dr. Cook, The Yeast Connection. It's been out for years. But he talks about it actually gets into the brain. Interesting guy. What are your thoughts on a lot of soda? I think it's a bad move. I drink maybe 3 bottles a month, and it's Virgil's. stevia sweetened root beer. Oh, it's to die for, guys. Yeah, the Yeast Connection. That's it, I think it's Dr. Cook. There's several of them out there, but he's the one. I think it was him and his wife. But excellent book. And easy, and when I give you these books, they're easy to read. I don't want to go through a book and have to, think about words like ankylosing spondylitis and all. I want simple terms, and that's what I try to give you guys. If there's professionals following me, I know you may laugh at some of the terms I use, but I'm not trying to impress you or speak to my colleagues. I'm trying to speak to the average person to get them to move. Anyone know? The hearts means they appreciate what I'm offering, so they tap the screen. Spring water still is best. Yeah, purified water, and I like Mountain Valley. Here in California, pH is about 9. Thank you for retweeting me, Forever Working. Thank you. I think I have a yeast problem, but I also know when I lose belly fat, I breathe easier. See, there you go. The Lean Body program, I address everything, but I give you the tools to make better choices. So you're gonna have all kind of ahas. Every video I'm gonna give you, you're gonna have an aha, and they're simple. Some are 10, 15 minutes, some are 2 or 3 minutes, but it's gonna pull you in the direction, and they're all staggered out for 12 weeks, and then there's all kind of material in there. The program is totally online. Your phone, your iPad. And what's really cool about this platform I have is it'll tell you which lesson you haven't watched yet or haven't took yet. So it's really cool. And you can make notes inside the program. Yeah, you'll get aha moments every week. Thank you for inviting your followers. Yeah, leanbodyacademy.com. That's correct. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Donna's one of the original founding members of the program. She was one of the first ones to come in back, I think November, December of last year. Depends. If that well, I'll give you an example. I lived in West Hollywood. I had the water tested. I built my filter system because it had so much rust in it, arsenic and rust. So I built my filter system based on arsenic and rust. So it depends on what country or what area of the country you live in. Depends on what's in the well water. It's great. Natural liposuction. Stomach always bloated. Stomach always bloated usually can be a yeast issue, but also can be a cardiovascular issue. So what happens is my father had it. When the cardiovascular system gets weak, it can't move blood from the legs back up to the heart because it just can't pull. Thank you, Joanne, for sharing with your followers. It can't pull the blood back up. So fluids pull in the legs and in the belly. So one distinction in most cases you can make is people with weak cardiovascular systems, they'll have a hard belly. It won't be a fat belly. It'll be almost like a big basketball. And again, I'm just making generalizations and definitely get tested, and but that's what my father was a perfect example of that. I wanted to join back then, but right now it's 50% off. I've got April. Just type in April in the code, and it'll go 50% off. Please don't use this as a place to spam. Oh, thank you so much. Rust, arsenic, heavy metals, dangerous as well. There's arsenic, interesting. There's arsenic in apple seeds, but totally different than the arsenic that, it can be in other places. But, it's because of West Hollywood where I lived up. The pipes were all rusty. So if you're thinking about getting any type of filtration system, take some water. They have these kits you can get online and send a sample of your water out to get tested and see what's in your demographic and then structure your filter system based on the water that you have. I used a coconut Big Blue something for the whole house. But if I would have had another problem, I would have probably went with another system. Can you tweet your broadcast schedule? I don't have it. I try to come up between 7 and 8 Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Candies too has too much fluoride. Yeah, fluoride's not bad for the mouth. The problem is it creates havoc with the gut. That's the problem with fluoride from the research that I've read. So again, I'm not against or for anything. I'm positive in the direction of what's going to work with our physiology, what's going to get us. Thanks for mentioning me on Twitter, Joanne. Yeah, so these are all kind of things that are built into the program. I've been drinking distilled water. Yeah, I would avoid drinking it long term. If you put a living cell in distilled water, it will actually explode because the distilled water has no minerals, so it'll rush into the cell. Try it in a petri dish experiment. We did that in college. What does fluoride do to your gut? It creates issues. You just type in fluoride and leaky gut syndrome, and you'll pull some interesting research up on that. So again, this was all Dr. Jeffrey Bland's work. Lemon water is a good idea too. Again, heard fluoride eats the brain. That's not my field of expertise. I think it's great for the teeth, but not good for the gut. And I leave it at that. We learned that in high school. 20 is bad. Yeah, like I said, we do get Mountain Valley water. We get it in glass bottles, and it just tastes phenomenal. So there's certain things that I kind of splurge on, and that's one of them. You guys are great scopers. I hope I've helped you. Water poison, distilled water. Yeah, you can do it for a couple of days. It's kind of like a detox program, but I wouldn't do it consistently. What the gentleman said was pretty accurate. Yeah. So again, today's scope was on detox. Don't get caught into it's a fat loss program. It's not. It doesn't work that way. You have to support your lean body mass. The Lean Body Academy does that on your schedule. You can access the program 24/7 on any device. If you have any issues, I have no webmasters. It's a built-alone platform. It's me. When you have a question or problem, it's me that answers, not some buddy in another country that, it doesn't work that way. I had that system and I trashed it because I don't work that way. Thank God no webmaster. Amy knows the hell that I went through. So how should we add coconut oil, either raw or cook? Well, it's the only oil that I cook with. I have it in my bathroom as a lubricant. It's on my face and my hair. And we go through probably about a pound a month. And the cheapest place to get it, go to georgecosmides.com and go to products. All the products that I use are there through Amazon. And, it's pretty cheap. Boil rice in coconut oil. Boil rice in coconut oil. I never tried that. Can raw vegans do you? Absolutely you can. There's all kind of exchanges you can make. So absolutely. My program is a varietarian base. It gives you variety, but it gets you to think. And once you own this knowledge, guys, you own it for life. And here's what I recommend. Anyone that's going to get on the program that has a family, don't even mention it that it's healthy. Please don't. You're at the dinner table. I know you're going to be tempted to, but don't do it. Don't do it. Reduce carbs, absorb supposedly. Not sure I follow you. You can. Rice is like high glycemic. It can be. There's a few strands that aren't, but I don't even bother with it anymore. But you still can. The browner the better as a general rule. My daughter says and eats clean, but she still has problem with her digestive system. There's something going on. There's something that's not right. Rarely, and you'll hear this term a lot, oh, it's a genetic problem. Oh, really? Where's the research at? Do you have any reports for me? Did they do a C-reactive protein test? I'm not being wise. I'm just saying that's a blanket statement that needs qualifications. And if you're basing your care, what you can or can't do, based on a non-qualified comment, that's kind of unreasonable. So, if you get on the program and I ask you these, don't get mad at me. I just want to know the facts so we can move forward, effectively. Hey, doctor, tell you or just take laxatives and yeah, I wouldn't do that. Why not say it's healthy? Because if you say, oh, this is really healthy food, what's the initial thing people think of? You guys answer that. It can cause all kind of problems, leaky gut. So if you go to someone's house and they say, oh, this is healthy, what's the first thing that comes in your mind? Yeah, don't say it with glee. What's the first thing that comes in your mind? It's going to taste bad. Oh my goodness. And you have all these emotional things. What you do is you make there's meatloaf. Amy's a southern girl down south. Amy, are the expenses a relative term? A portion's expensive, but you're getting high performance. Ask Amy. Amy, are the recipes in the program reasonable for a southern girl like you? Did you have any problem with any of the recipes in there? And there's more being added all the time. Were they super strict recipes? Amy will tell you she's a perfect example. Yes. Start with a probiotic. Yeah. And Amy's what? In Alabama. If I can get someone in Alabama lose 70, 80 pounds on the program like Amy did with the meals plans, I'm doing something right, folks. I would wonder what the doctor would say about it. I'm not following your question. Again, it's about being reasonable and consistent. It's not about being extreme. Yeah, Alabama. I know. Fine. I knew it was out over there. Diverticulitis, what causes that? So it's inflammation of the digestive tract, and usually it's not flowing properly. Could be caused by a number of things. But regardless of what the causes are, applying certain fundamental principles will tip you in the proper direction. Probiotics all day or once a day. I would get one there's good belly. There's several of them. I would do one in the morning, one in the evening, and I would do it for about 21 days. And it's just good food for the good bacteria in your gut. Kefir can help, but but we're trying to make an impact. So what's nice, so when I give advice like that, if there's a deep problem, it won't cause anything to be worse. And if you start getting if your daughter starts feeling better after a week, you're onto something. How to boost lean body mass? Make sure you know what your lean body mass is, and make sure you feed it with the appropriate protein amounts. Yeah, there's like 50 different strains. There's billions of organisms. Thank you, Morelli, for inviting your followers. Yeah, but I've had great success with it as far as it not passing the HCL. I was really, really sick. My family was, and we used an Ayurvedic product and probiotics, and I was well in like 4 days, and I was really sick. Everyone in my office was sick for like weeks. 4 days I was sick. Sugar feels good bacteria. You have to qualify that statement. What type of sugar is it? If it's coconut sugar, real coconut sugar, real date sugar, it doesn't. But if it's processed white sugar, it does. So I'll teach you these things in the program. So for you personal trainers or you fitness people out there, I'll teach you how when you speak about these things, you can qualify it. And people will say, this person really knows what they're talking about. So I shouldn't have carbohydrates. Well, you shouldn't have certain carbohydrates, especially at nighttime, simple ones, things like that. And you know this stuff, and ask Amy and other people on my program. They turn into geniuses around their friends because they know things that the other people don't. Herbal Zap is amazing. Yeah, I was very impressed with that product. And again, they don't pay me. I paid for it at the store. I was really impressed. Brown sugar, no, brown sugar is just burnt molasses on white sugar. If you want to use a sprinkled sugar, use date, coconut, or maple syrup. Do not use agave, in my opinion. Or you have stevia in the house. Sweet Leaf is the best brand. You'll get all this inside the program. Yeah. And Amy was one of those people that initially she nitpicked everything. Yeah, that's a good one. Good Belly is another good one. You can just drink it. And again, guys, I'm thinking about what can my 5-year-old daughter do? What can my wife, who's an artist who travels a lot, what can she do? You see? So you have to think about the context of, living in the world, not just doing some extreme thing that I have to be at home to do it and all that. That's not going to work. Yeah, Amy was a nitpicker. I mean, super nitpicker. But now she is like a fanatic, because she loses, so she took a breath and she went back. That's what I teach you guys. Eating system, it depends on what you're eating. It depends on the timing. You see? I teach you timing. I teach you foods. Basic things that you don't need to walk around with a manual. You'll have it up here because it'll just click. That makes sense. I understand why to do that now. And you'll just do it. Come on, I got a lady from Alabama that lost over 70 pounds. I mean, how much more easy can you make it if she can do it? What's your take on water enhancers? I don't even know what a water enhancer is. Lemon juice to me is a water enhancer. What's your plan called? It's the Lean Body Academy. You can join right now for 50% off. On the front page there's a code. If you don't see it, type in April when you go to pay in the coupon box. Capital APRIL. I think that's how you spell it. Do you have you don't weigh foods, you don't count calories, none of that. Hey, Millionaire Motivator, thanks for running your followers. Follow him, guys. This guy is sharp. Sharp guy with business. And I've got 3 coaches. One of them is a business coach, so follow him. Loads of rubbish on med issues, but often even Wikipedia is a good start. And then go to PubMed. With anything, you want to get data because your body is a business. Look, guys, you can have the best family life in the world. You can have the best money in the world, all this kind of stuff. If your health is failing, trust me, I've had people beg me, what can I do? Where can I go? And usually they'll go to the highest expensive places. There's no magic. You have to do fundamental things, and that's what I teach. Fundamental. You have to be fundamental, but you have to know the basic tools, just like with any business. Your body's a business. So anyone who joins tonight, I will review your laboratory work. We'll set up a time the next week or so, and we'll review your lab work. About 15, 20 minutes. Just make sure you send it to me, and I'll do that. I'll do it for the next 20 people only. Well, I'm going to follow because I'm a diabetic. Okay. I've had diabetics with blood sugar over 800. We got them normalized in 3 months. Not by treating their diabetes, by focusing on what I'm talking about on the scope. 7 months free of Dr. Perry because of you. That's right. Excellent. Try Virgil's soda, but the only problem with trying it, I don't want you to go back to your other root beer. It's Virgil's and it's a root beer. Stevia, phenomenal. I just signed up but wasn't aware of the discount code. Well, I'll give it to you for next, because it's only for 1 month. I'll give it to you next month. What should you ask the lab to test? I'm in the process of getting something, but just go to your primary and just say you want a CBC, a certified blood count, or just a general blood count. Different labs have different ways that they go about that. Virgil 0, that's it. You want to get your liver profile, your kidney profile, see what your cholesterol, but more importantly, see what your ratios are, your triglycerides and your cholesterol, triglycerides, and HDL, LDL. Yeah, complete blood count, CBC, correct. And if you have kidney issues, tell them to run a kidney profile, because some of that's not on there. Yes, I am. I'm an author, and I've got one of my books here somewhere, but I think I left it on the other table. Yeah. And Amy, I want to talk to you about this. This platform has its own Facebook group that they automatically go into. So we need to talk about how that happens, because I've got to automate these things. I've got so many people going in the program. I have to automate as much stuff as I can. My first time on your scope. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. For all of you guys that are new to my scope, I'm Dr. George Kosmides. I've been practicing functional medicine since 1995 when I lost my father to congestive heart failure, side effect of diabetes. My two uncles, 35 and 31, same thing. 31, my other uncle was an orthopedic surgeon. I got in an accident at 19, nearly cost me my life. I was scheduled for back surgery, both in my neck and low back. I opted for chiropractic instead. It saved my life, changed my life, and that's what I've been doing for over 20 years. But my father dying got me into functional medicine. I read a research paper by Dr. Karen O'Day out of the University of Australia in Melbourne about resolving diabetes in 7 weeks. Not only resolving diabetes, but resolving all the other blood parameters. Look her up, Karen O'Day. I hope one day I get a chance to meet her. But phenomenal researcher. Glucose needs checked, but one is a more accurate test. I agree. But again, you're trying to get people, once you start getting specific, people just go get your testing done. But the principles in the program will apply whether you're a type 1, type 2, type 1.5, fibromyalgia, it doesn't matter, because the program eventually morphs around your life. What's your opinion on Dr. Sebi? I don't know Dr. Sebi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear about your family like this. No, it's okay. I talk about being sexually molested at 8 years old. It doesn't care. Once you harbor and hold those things in, they do nothing but do negative things. So 7 out of 10 people have been molested either emotionally or physically. Thanks for inviting one person, Mohammed. But I'm not going to let that hold me back. Hey, kiddo. You want to come say hi? Yeah. That's my 5-year-old. Oh, my God, I was 2. Yeah. Okay, most people, 7 out of 10, according to research, and some say that's conservative. But the problem is a lot of people with health problems. No, I'm not closing the Facebook, but this platform has an automatic automation that they automatically go in. The other Facebook, we had to add them manually. I can't keep up. Here's my daughter. Come on. Say hello. Say hello. Hey. Say hello. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to have you on my scope this evening. I'll be on again tomorrow night, and I'll tweet out my topic. I want to thank you guys so much, and whoops, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.